So you're thinking about moving to Alexandria, but you know nothing about the area. Where do you even start? Hey team, my name is Emily Howlett and I'm a local real estate agent here in Northern Virginia and Maryland. Moving to a new place can be daunting, especially when you know nothing about the area. It's always so much easier when you know at least something about where you're moving to. To help you out with that, today I'm going over 11 things you absolutely must know before you move to Alexandria. When you say Alexandria, it's typically referring to one of two main areas, Old Town Alexandria and the city of Alexandria. The difference comes into play because Old Town is ultimately a part of, but fairly distinct from, the city of Alexandria. I say distinct from because while Old Town is part of Alexandria, it has a whole different feel than the rest of the city. Old Town is one of the original settlements of the city of Alexandria, and it really leans into its old world charm to include having a nationally designated historic district. The architecture for several sections is centuries old, and the area includes many historic attractions. Old Town tends to be very compact and even more of an urban style, meaning getting around as a pedestrian is a lot easier. There are also a lot more locally owned businesses and high-end boutiques compared to the big box stores. Now, the city of Alexandria is also pretty pedestrian friendly, but it's a bit more spread out than Old Town. There's also still a leaning toward historic architecture for some areas, but it's not as prevalent as in Old Town. For the most part, you can expect to see what you would likely normally see in any other suburban town in terms of architecture and amenities. Regardless of which part of town you're in though, the public transit options are pretty top-notch. Now that we've cleared up the distinction between Old Town and the city of Alexandria, let's confuse things just a bit again. Alexandria is broken up into smaller neighborhood areas, each of which has its own distinct personality and even architectural style. Depending on how you divide things up, I've been able to come up with at least 10 different neighborhoods. Examples include the neighborhoods of Del Rey, Potomac West, and Arlandria, just to name a few. If you ask a local where they live and they happen to live in Alexandria, don't be surprised if they answer based on the neighborhood that they live in, rather than just saying Alexandria. Alexandria has a huge art scene that is a year-round delight, and the city is recognized as one of the U.S.'s premier artistic hubs. There are numerous art galleries depending on what you're interested in, as well as several city art festivals. The Torpedo Factory is probably one of the most well-known art centers in Alexandria, and is more than you might expect from a standard gallery, since it's home to the largest number of publicly accessible working art studios in the U.S. Wander through the space to see the artists at work and even talk to them to learn more about their style and their art. Some other galleries include the P&C Art Gallery, the Del Rey Artisans Gallery, and the art exhibitions at the Athenaeum. For art festivals, the longest running and most well-known is the Old Town Art Festival, typically held during the fall at a location in, you guessed it, Old Town. Another option is Art on the Avenue. These are just two of several, so be sure to look online to find all the different festivals in the area. At over 250 years old, Alexandria has a lot of history, and the city really embraces this heritage. There are numerous historic homes, businesses, and museums that allow locals and visitors alike a taste of what life was like decades and even centuries in the past. This history really hits home when you read things like a Facebook post by the Alexandria Historical Society reminding Alexandria residents to call the local archaeology department if they see holes in their yard that might be a historical structure, or if they're approached by someone to do an archaeology dig on their property. Other examples of Alexandria's eye toward history include the Scottish Christmas Walk Parade, honoring the city's Scottish ties, as well as the George Washington Birthday Parade and the historic Alexandria Homes Tour. These are just a few of the many options available, meaning that if you're a history buff or just looking to learn more, you won't be lacking in opportunities. Not only does Alexandria embrace the past, It also is dedicated to the future through ecological, economic, and social sustainability. Way back in 2008, Alexandria was the first Virginia city to adopt the Eco-City Charter, which made official Alexandria's commitment to sustainability goals. If you're not familiar with what an eco-city is, the short version is that it's a city that works to harmonize natural resources and environmental assets with policies, regional realities, and economic and business markets. As part of this plan, Alexandria addresses both short and long-term actions in 10 goal areas: climate change, energy, green building, land use and open space, solid waste, water resources, transportation, environmental health, air quality, and implementation, education, and outreach. Some outcomes from the plan so far include emission reductions, LEED Gold certification, ongoing retrofitting of street lamps for energy savings, and plans to support electric vehicle charging infrastructure in the community. Alexandria has a strong job market, with jobs available in the public, semi-public, and private sectors. Due to its close proximity to Washington, D.C., Alexandria is in a prime location to host public agencies as well as private companies that support government functions. Additionally, again due to its location, commuting into the heart of D.C. as well as other areas in Virginia and Maryland is relatively easy, where there are even more job options available. On top of jobs tied to government functions, there are plenty of other industries in the area completely independent of government, including, but not limited to, healthcare, retail and hospitality, finance, and education. With all of these options available, it's easy to see why the Alexandria unemployment rate and future job growth projections are a fair bit better than the national averages. Some cities are known for their nightlife, but Alexandria is really known for its food, especially the comfort food and waterfront fares. There are so many awesome restaurants throughout the city that sometimes it can honestly be hard to pick which one to go to. You'll find everything from health-conscious smoothies at spots like Grateful Kitchen Company to incredibly indulgent meals that will put you right into a food coma at places like Magnolia's on King Street. And in case you're looking to round out your meal with something less savory, there are plenty of sweet shops in the area too. For example, Casa Rosada Artisanal Gelato or Lavender Moon Bakery. While you can find most of the common restaurant chains, a lot of the charm of Alexandria comes from the local and regional restaurants and cafes. Alexandria is a great option if you love to be active. Ranked as one of the best cities for outdoor recreation, and having been featured on U.S. News' rankings of healthiest communities in the U.S., you can bet that you'll have plenty of options available to stay active. There are numerous gyms and fitness studios in the city with any number of specialties to suit your interests. Additionally, if you feel like getting outside rather than being indoors, Alexandria has an average of 201 sunny days per year and plenty of outdoor spaces to include parks and trails. Winters here are relatively mild as well, with a few winter storms spread throughout, meaning that even when the temperatures drop, most of the time, it's not completely out of the question to be outside. Alexandrians really love their pets, meaning that the city is incredibly pet-friendly and also has plenty of dog boutiques to visit. Just one example of how pet-friendly the city is, remember the Torpedo Factory Art Center that I mentioned earlier? Well, it's dog-friendly. So are many other historical sites as well as plenty of shops. Some shops will even leave out water bowls and occasionally free treats for pups that walk by. Additionally, many restaurants are dog-friendly, with pets being allowed inside on a leash or offering outdoor seating, and many hotels in the area are also dog-friendly, with numerous endorsements to confirm Alexandria's dog-friendliness, such as appearing on Lawnstarter's list of best cities for dog lovers, Zillow's list of fastest emerging dog-friendly cities, and Mars Pet Care's Better Cities for Pets certification. Get ready for plenty of adventures with your pup. While I'd love to have only amazing things to say for things that you should know before moving here, there are a couple downers. First up is the traffic. The DC area isn't known for great traffic, and as a neighboring city of DC, Alexandria is definitely no exception, whether it's driving in the small streets of Old Town, a slowdown due to a crash, or even just sitting in rush hour traffic. It's pretty much a given that at some point in your time here, you will get to experience the full weight of DC traffic. Traffic in the area is ranked as some of the worst in the country, with some estimates saying that drive times can be up to 21% longer than with no traffic. That being the case, it's important to find ways to make your commute less stressful, or, if possible, live not too far from where you work. Thankfully, as I mentioned, public transit is usually a great alternative, and some people have even taken up cycling to work. Next up in the not-so-awesome must-knows is the cost of living. While it costs a bit less to live in Alexandria compared to the rest of the Northern Virginia and DC metro area, it's still more expensive than what it would cost you to live on average in the rest of the United States. The only exception to that is the utility cost, and even that's not going to save you a lot of money. If you'd like to learn more about the everyday cost of living in Alexandria, check out this video where I go way more in depth on the costs. For now though, let's just say that you should plan to spend a little bit more, especially on housing costs. Moving to a new place can be scary, but hopefully if you're thinking of moving to Alexandria, I've been able to help ease your fears, even if just a tiny bit. If you'd like to learn more about what it's like to live here, I would love the opportunity to help you out. Whether you're new to the area or a local, reach out however is easiest. Text, email, or call, I'm here to help. And before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe if you thought this information was helpful and you want to see more like it.